Listen up and pay close attention, because this is about to flip your love life on its head, and for good. There's one crucial thing that's holding you back from turning the women around you into obsessive little magnets drawn to you sexually. Do you know what that is? Sexual sparks. That electric gut-level pull that turns a boring conversation into something that sizzles. If you don't have sexual sparks, you're stuck as the safe guy, the chump who can't get out of the friend zone. Fucking pathetic. But when you have sexual tension, it's like you've tapped into something primal. The difference between being invisible and being irresistible is in creating this unspoken chemistry. Fail at that, and you're left scratching your head, wondering why she didn't respond to your texts. Picture this. Finally, you're out on a date with the girl you've been desiring all your life. Everything seems to be absolutely perfect. She's giggling at your jokes, the conversation flows like a river. But at the end of the night, she's giving you a handshake like a job interview. You know why? No spark, no chemistry, no pulse, and you're left out to dry. Here's the ugly truth. Most men walk around absolutely clueless about this, and the few who do, they've got no idea how to light that fire. But that changes today, because I'm about to drop the secret right in your lap. So buckle up and pay attention, because what I'm about to tell you is the difference between being a beta backup and being the alpha gigachad who owns her thoughts. And stick around until the end, because I'll be revealing a killer resource that'll take this to a level you can't even imagine. Make no mistake. Failing to ignite sexual tension has serious consequences for your love life. You'll get friend-zoned so fast, it'll make your head fucking spin. You'll watch her drift towards some asshole while you're left in a daze, wondering what the hell happened. You tried being sweet. You praised her. You took care of things for her. You did everything a good guy was supposed to do. And yet she fucked the asshole, not you. Okay, so let me spell it out for you as clearly as I can. Women don't just want attraction, they want an emotional roller coaster. If you can't give her that, she's bored, and you're toast. The secret lies in how you control her emotions and how you manipulate her perceptions in those critical moments. But if you don't know how to spark that heat, you're destined to stay in the friend zone permanently. Sad, but true. But what if I told you there's a formula that will have her obsessed, thinking about you even when you're not around? That's where the sexual spark formula comes in. And no, this isn't some pickup trick or line. This is industrial-grade mind control, straight from Shogun Method, the nectar jar of the hypnosis gods. It's a comprehensive set of knowledge designed to one thing, that is to make her fall, and fall hard. What is the sexual spark formula? Well, it's a lethal combination of 3 techniques: empty eye contact, behavior shifts, and fractionation. You hit her with this 3-punch combo, and you'll create a connection that sinks so deep she won't know what hit her. This ain't child's play, it's raw psychological warfare. Let's dive in and look at each of these techniques in detail. The first component in the sexual spark formula is the empty eye contact. If you've ever heard some wannabe alpha talk about sexy eye contact, you know it's bullshit. Empty eye contact works on a different level. You're not just looking at her, no. The difference is you're not showing any emotions at all. No smiles, no flirty vibes, just cold, neutral intensity. When you hit her with an emotionless gaze, it screws with her mind completely. She'll wonder, what the hell is he thinking? Is he interested in me or not? And here's the trick. That ambiguity in her mind drives her fucking insane. Her mind runs on a hamster wheel, and she can't stop thinking about you. With the empty eye contact, you've planted the seed, and now she's on the hook, obsessing over you and what you really think about her. How do you pull this technique off? Easy. You do it in 4 simple steps. First, hold her gaze. Don't look away. Stay composed. Second, keep your face neutral. No smiles, no emotions, nothing. Third, let the tension build for a couple seconds. Fourth, if she doesn't look away, then break eye contact deliberately. Give her a small smirk or a quiet chuckle to keep the mystery alive. Remember, this is a demonstration of power in its purest form. Your unspoken dominance will make her chase that validation. She'll think you're a puzzle she needs to solve. The second technique in the sexual spark formula is behavior shifts. This one's a sleeper move, and it's straight out of the Shogun Method playbook. And here's how it works. You see, women operate on predictable patterns. How they speak and how they carry themselves are dictated by rules that they subconsciously obey. I call this a woman's default mode. And so when you notice a shift in her behavior, when she's around you, that's the spark catching fire. In Shogun Method, we call this the breaking of a woman's default mode. Here's an example. She's usually outgoing and loud, but around you, she's shy, quieter, maybe even flustered. Bingo. That's sexual spark in action. When a woman is emotionally engaged with a man, her default mode breaks. Most guys are completely oblivious to a woman's signs of sexual tension. In Shogun Method, you'll learn how to recognize the biggest sign of sexual interest of them all. And if the woman is not interested in you, Shogun Method will teach you how to engineer the breaking of her default mode. Okay, we've saved the big one for the last. Of course, we're talking about fractionation. This is where boys get separated from men. Empty eye contact and behavior shifts start the sexual tension fire. But fractionation is the full-blown inferno. This is emotional whiplash at its finest. With fractionation, you'll be taking her on a ride of highs and lows, teasing her with bliss 1 second, then hitting her with misery and grief the next. So, here's how it works. First, you hit her with some light flirting, making her laugh. Then, you switch gears and bring up something personal or vulnerable. Then, back to teasing. You're flipping her emotional switch like a puppet master, keeping her guessing, keeping her engaged. And guess what? She'll eat it up because she's addicted to the tension. It's in her women DNA, deeply ingrained into the reptile brain of female sexuality. Here's the truth. Master fractionation, and she won't just like you, she'll be glued to you. Make no mistake, this is psychological dominance at its peak. Like everything else in Shogun Method, this isn't just theory. There's a deeper level of fractionation that'll blow your mind, and I'll share where you can learn the fuller version for free at the end of this video. Trust me, you haven't even scratched the surface. Okay, we've come to the end of this video, and so let's wrap things up. Here's your Shogun Method sexual spark formula, and it's 3 techniques. First, you hit her with empty eye contact to create mystery, tension, and intrigue. Then, you watch for behavior shifts to recognize her interest levels and capitalize on her changing emotions. And finally, you use fractionation to put her on an emotional roller coaster so intense, she'll never want to get off. And we're not done yet. The fractionation technique I just taught you is only a tiny piece of what's in the Shogun Method online masterclass. There, you'll unlock the full version of fractionation, the version that guarantees she can't pull away. The masterclass is where you learn how to control her emotional world and dominate her mind. Go ahead and sign up at fractionation.org. It's the secret to creating intense sexual addiction that makes women lose sleep over you. Trust me, once you've felt that kind of power, you'll never go back to being ordinary again. Go light the sexual spark, and she'll be clamoring all over you instantly. Sign up for the Shogun Method online masterclass now at fractionation.org. Click the link in the video description below.